Good morning everyone and welcome to this week's garden update. Well, it is going to be a little bit shorter than usual, and that is because we had a bit of an incident here last night. Everything is absolutely fine, but at my kids' soccer training, our youngest child was injured and we ended up having to bring him into the hospital. We were there for quite some time, but he's home now and he's happy, doing well. Everything's absolutely fine, but I just didn't get as much recorded. So what I did do was, at the end of this update, I added in a few short videos which I post on my TikTok account. I think you'll probably enjoy them, hopefully. And that's it. So otherwise, just sit back and relax for a few minutes and let's get into it now. I went to Bunnings yesterday and I made a few purchases, starting off with this cute little guy. I already had my trolley full of other bits and pieces like seed raising mix, seedlings, seeds, you know, the usual stuff. And I was feeling like I had reached my spending limit. So although there were some other lovely larger gnomes, they were a little bit more expensive. So I ended up buying this little one, and the reason I was attracted to it was for this. I was thinking it would make a nice little area where I could put a pot, and you could even just leave this inside on the windowsill. I also purchased a couple of punnets of these Johnny Jump Up violas. A few weeks ago now, I actually sowed some of these seeds, but the seedlings weren't doing very well and they died on me. And when I saw these in the garden centre, I was like, you know, for a few dollars, I think they were around $4.50 for this, which has about 6 seedlings in it. I thought that was good value, and if I was to start my seeds off now, to get them to this stage as the weather cools down, it would take quite a bit longer. I also picked up this tray of rainbow silver beet. At this time of year, every time when I go to a garden centre and I see these particular silver beet, I always have a snoop to see if there are any orange seedlings. And I think I struck gold with this one, because in this one punnet there's 3 of them. There's another one back there and this one over there too. Often I find when I buy mixed seed packets of rainbow silver beet, I usually get quite a lot of the red and the yellow, but very rarely do I get orange seedlings. So whenever I notice a good amount of them in a punnet being sold at the garden centre, I just snap it up. And with these other ones here, I'll probably just pot them up. If I don't end up using them in the garden, I can give them away to my friends who grow food as well. I also picked up this chrysanthemum. You can see the flowers have definitely passed their best, but if you take a look down here, the foliage is lovely and healthy. So this is I guess a little gardening tip. This time of year, just after Mother's Day, there are so many chrysanthemums in the garden centres which are heavily reduced. So chrysanthemums, I guess, are the common flower or plant that seems to be popular as a gift for Mother's Day. I'm not really exactly sure why. I'm sure there's some kind of history behind it, but they always seem to buy a bit too much, especially the larger garden centres like Bunnings. So if you go in the week after Mother's Day, you can often find some of them really heavily discounted. This one, oh, I guess it's not that heavy. It was originally $11 down to $5. The other thing I noticed with these plants is they want the floral display up on top to look quite intense and full. So oftentimes I find that they put multiple plants in the same pot. Let's take a look and see if that happened here. I've just pulled it apart and there's actually 3 separate plants. So what I'm going to do with these is cut off the top there and pot them up, keep them overwintered in the container, and then by next springtime, which is not too long away really, it's about 3 or 4 months away, I'll be able to put these out in the ground. The one thing that I didn't mention about these is when I bought them, well, it's kind of obvious, I have got no idea what colour these ones are. The picture doesn't really help too much because it's got like a variety of a rainbow selection of colours. So I guess it's just going to be a bit of a surprise, but not bad. 3 plants for $5 I think is quite good value. There's been a bit of an incident over here at our lemon tree. You may remember a few weeks back I showed you this branch which was drooping over. It was being weighed down by all of the lemons. Well, if we climb up this ladder, oh, there's a big spider web, hold on, up we go. Look what's after happening. The branch is after splitting open. Oh, can I actually see it through the other side there? I think you can. Oh, it's almost completely separated. So I'm going to have to try and bandage this up, repair it, and possibly even try and support a bit more of the weight. What I might do is make a slightly shorter support structure, probably out of the tomato stakes, or I'll see what I've got underneath the house, and I'll place it in here somewhere so it can take a bit more of the weight, so it's not all bearing just on that one spot. It would be such a shame to lose this branch, but fortunately I still have 1, 2, and there's another large one over there behind those lemons, which is still, you know, a reasonable amount. And hopefully that will mean that this tree will still bear quite a lot of fruit over the next few years, even if I do end up losing this one here. Our girls love these easy to make frozen chuck treats, especially on hot summer days where these food-filled ice cubes help to keep them cool and hydrated as temperatures soar. Today when I was putting a bunch of plants in the ground, I kept on digging up random stuff, like this miniature toy sword or the handle for my garden fork. I was wondering where that went to. I just bought these cost lettuce and noticed that there were slugs in the pack. Some of you may think this is gross, but I don't, because it tells me that the farm where these lettuce were grown does not spray the life out of its ecosystem. Which would you choose? Regular corn or a mini variety that you can pop? This one is called strawberry popcorn, and this other miniature cob variety is called blue popcorn. Rhubarb is a vegetable, but I treat it like a fruit. It's very versatile in cooking, using its stalks in sweet pies, jams, and my favourite stewed. Served here with yogurt, but custard works great too. Here are 3 garden fails this season. These tomato plants got diseased and the fruit's inedible. The Tennessee dancing gourd plant died before the gourds reached full size. And the edible fort, what can I say, it's a hot mess. Most of us eat this part of the carrot, which is an enlarged taproot. Or with a broccoli plant, we eat this part here, which is an underdeveloped flower head. But did you know you can also eat this green foliage on the carrots, plus the leaves from the broccoli, and its stem too? I've seen this trend on TikTok where you dip a cucumber into sugar and it's supposed to taste like a watermelon. I had to give this a try with my homegrown cucamelons. I really wanted this to work.